If you've been wondering about this question, what are the benefits of meditation and mindfulness, then you're in the right place. In this video, I'll first define mindfulness. I'll then summarize 5 big benefits. Well, there's more than 5, but I'm keeping it to 5 for a bite-sized video. I'll then share how you can create a compounding benefit for your brain. And no, you don't need to empty your mind in order to gain the benefits. So let's get started. What is mindfulness? It's a quality of presence, of non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. It's not actually about emptying your mind. It isn't about feeling calmer, which will probably be a benefit. It's actually a training program for your brain, body, and behavior. There are ancient roots to these practices, and in the modern setting, Jon Kabat-Zinn has often been attributed as the father of modern mindfulness for the work that he's done over decades, starting with chronic pain, which then led to inspiring many more people, from practitioners to researchers, including neuroscience researchers and medical researchers, on using mindfulness in the secular setting. On a personal note, I was inspired to research mindfulness in the neurological setting after watching a documentary about Jon Kabat-Zinn during my mindfulness teacher facilitator training. The way I like to share about the benefits and practices of mindfulness is to consider mindfulness in 2 categories. You have the formal practices, which some people think of it as meditation, whether it's sitting quietly, or an informal practice, which is about the practice of mindfulness, bringing it into your daily life. And this is how I covered it in my book, Mindfulness for Brain Health, which emphasizes on the informal practices initially in order to guide people into settling into a more formal practice. You can even think about mindfulness like a way of turning down the volume of the background noise so that you can hear what actually matters. Now let's look at the benefits of mindfulness. Starting with benefit number 1, the space between trigger and response. A quote I love from Dr. Viktor Frankl summarizes this very nicely. So let me read that to you. This is from page 65 of my book, Mindfulness for Brain Health. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. I love this. The space and opportunity for growth and freedom is so powerful. An everyday example could be this. Let's say you're standing in line and somebody cuts in front of you. A very common and understandable reaction could be anger. Why is this person acting in this way? And an opportunity, when there is a space, could be noticing when the person cuts in front of you and the internal reaction that is arising in yourself, which then creates a moment of choice. For some people, it could be observing what else is happening around them to be causing that. For some people, it could be a decision about speaking clearly and calmly, highlighting the fact that they have cut in front of them. And in my research work, the benefits of mindfulness include the ability for my participants to notice the first signs of stress and to be able to make some wise choices about what would be best for them in that moment in response. Benefit number 2, breaking out of autopilot. Let me ask you this. How often have you started driving thinking that you're going to go to visit your friend, and before you know it, you have reached your workplace because you started driving and autopilot kicks in and your brain thinks it's going to work, for example. Mindfulness can help with this, being aware of the present moment. And it doesn't need extra time. It can happen within the task. For example, in the everyday setting, as you're preparing dinner, being aware of how you are whilst you're preparing the meal, or when you're walking to work or on the way to catch the bus. Observing how things are, the sensations of your body, of your surroundings, can all be opportunities for practicing mindfulness. It illustrates how mindfulness is not a practice dependent on location, but dependent on attention. Benefit number 3, the brain benefits of mindfulness. So I am a neurologist and I am, of course, biased to talking about the brain. And this is where I think many people find surprising and particularly interesting. Do you know that there has been research studies showing that regular mindfulness practices can even change the brain, including measurable increase in the brain size for areas of memory and self-awareness? And in my own research, I have shown how mindfulness can create brain network changes, neuroplasticity, with how our brain processes visual information. Another way to think of it is like gym training for your brain. Think of your brain like a muscle. Every time you do your mindfulness practices, you are benefiting your brain. And over time, it can rewire your brain so that you get the benefits as you move through your day-to-day, even when you're not meditating. Benefit number 4, the nervous system, specifically the autonomic nervous system connection. The autonomic nervous system is the part of the nervous system that functions automatically. It's the part that controls blood pressure, heart rate, pupil dilation, sweating, and you may hear of it as part of the stress or the relaxation response. The words sympathetic nervous system is to do with the stress response part of the autonomic nervous system. And in its extreme, it could be considered the fight or flight response. But of course, we need that. We need a stress response to be able to function in normal living. It's only when it's stuck when there's a problem. Like in chronic stress situations, the person may be stuck in chronic stress response. The other side of the autonomic nervous system is the parasympathetic or the relaxation response. Some people call it the rest and relax or the rest and digest response. And this part of the nervous system can be activated by mindfulness practices. So using mindfulness practices can balance the nervous system, taking somebody out of chronic stress response to be more of a balance between the stress response and the relaxation response. Benefit number 5, so this is a little cop-out because there are broad benefits, and I'll just list them here to give you a taster of what could be coming. Wide-ranging benefits include the benefits to stress, anxiety, mood regulation, more physical benefits such as blood sugar regulation, sleep, pain processing, the immune system, and benefits with relationships and connection with others. I'll cover more of these in the upcoming mindfulness video in my mindfulness series. And these are not separate benefits. They are a cascading response from the brain to the rest of the system so that one is not stuck in a survival mode and can start to thrive and feel well and calm with joy. And the benefits compound. In the early weeks of practicing mindfulness, one may not notice much going on, but with each practice, the benefits accumulate. It's like learning an instrument. Initially, the benefits may not be visible yet, but then you see the benefits later. So you may even think of it like a bank. Every practice is like a little deposit, and each consistent practice compounds to significant brain benefits. Who is this for? Everyone, not just a personality type, and not related to any specific spiritual leanings. Everyone can benefit from it. From people suffering from chronic stress, cognitive fatigue, emotional reactivity, to people who just want to have a better sense of well-being. So how about one small start today? Take 3 slow breaths. As you're breathing in, notice the sensation of breath going all the way in and taking a very slow breath out. Or on your next meal, just take a moment to notice what you see, the smells, the taste, and enjoy the next bite. I hope this is a good starter. Sign up to my mindfulness series if you are interested to learn more, and I'll cover in my upcoming videos practices you can incorporate in your daily life, and for people who are more interested in the scientific benefits, a video about that as well. Comment with any questions and if you found this helpful. Thank you.